अच्छा चलो फिर ये कर लेते हैं स्टार्ट यहाँ से ना। अच्छा यहाँ से स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं कि वो खोल लेते हैं। ऑर्गेनिक ही क्वेश्चन होंगे इसमें अब मोस्टली। तो रिवीजन। अच्छा ये कौन सा रिएक्शन सुटेबल स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल एंड रिएजेंट दैट कैन बी यूज्ड टू प्रोड्यूस ब्यूटेन। अच्छा इसमें ब्यूटेन नाइट्राइल बनाना है। तो नाइट्राइल्स किस तरह फॉर्म होते हैं? नाइट्राइल्स फॉर्म होते हैं ये NaCN एथेनॉलिक से। ठीक है ये वाला रिएक्शन है। ठीक है नाइट्राइल्स फॉर्म करना है तो न्यूक्लियोफिलिक सब्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ हैलोजन अल्केन। लेकिन CN जब ऐड करते हो ना तो एक कार्बन एक्स्ट्रा हो जाता है, तो इस वजह से अगर ब्यूटेन नाइट्राइल बनाना है तो योर स्टार्टिंग मटेरियल वुड हैव 3 कार्बन्स। तो फिर Br की जगह CN अटैच हो जाएगा तो ब्यूट हो जाएगा। ठीक है प्रॉप से। अयान क्लियर है ये?
जी।
अगला वाला इथेन डायोइक एसिड है, रिएक्ट्स विद एथेनॉल इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ फ्यू ड्रॉप्स ऑफ सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड। कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड है। ठीक है तो और दोनों साइड्स पे इट्स अ डबल कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड। ठीक है इट्स गॉट अ कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड ग्रुप ऑन दी अदर साइड एज वेल। तो वो कह रहा है कि किस साथ रिएक्ट कर रहा है? इट्स रिएक्टिंग विद एथेनॉल, तो एस्टर फॉर्म होगा। तो उससे डाई एस्टर का ना वो क्या है स्ट्रक्चरल फॉर्मूला? सो सो दिस वन इज अ बीच में ना देयर इज अ कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड एंड दिस कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड इज रिएक्टिंग विद एथेनॉल। एथेनॉल का मतलब है कि अल्कोहल। ठीक है और 3 H's और 2 H's, राइट? एंड there's going to be an ethanol molecule on the other side as well. एस्टर किसका फॉर्म होता है? एस्टर फॉर्म होता है कि कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड लूजेस इट्स OH एंड द अल्कोहल लूजेस इट्स H। इसका OH चला गया, इसका H चला गया, एस्टर बन जाएगा बीच में। ठीक है
जी
तो
सर।
उसको रब ऑफ कर दो, बीच में से वाटर निकल गया। OH स्टिल लेफ्ट। ठीक है और ये आपका एस्टर बन गया। और दूसरी साइड में भी यही होगा कि इट्स गोइंग टू बी OH और H, वाटर निकल गया एंड दे फॉर्म्ड एन एस्टर। ठीक है तब ये बताओ कि ये बेसिकली चीज बनती है इनमें। तो इन सारों में से ये कौन सा है ABCD में से? कौन सा वाला मॉलिक्यूल ये है?
सर बी होगा सर।
कौन सा?
बी सर।
हाँ बी है मेरे ख्याल से बी है। CH3 CH2 फिर OCO फिर C फिर O फिर दोबारा O फिर CH2 CH3। ठीक है आई थिंक इट्स बी। हाँ बी लग रहा है। अच्छा उसके बाद नेक्स्ट वन इन्फ्रारेड स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी। तो उसने कहा कि इन्फ्रारेड स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी में वही था कि एक दो बॉन्ड्स का ही पता लगता है। सो देयर इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग एब्जॉर्प्शन। ये 1600 और 1700 के ऊपर ना देयर इज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग एब्जॉर्प्शन एट दिस रेंज। तो ये कौन सा मॉलिक्यूल होता है? ये डेटा बुकलेट में देखो तो कौन सा बॉन्ड होता है विच हैज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग एब्जॉर्प्शन एट दिस पर्टिकुलर रेंज? तो 1600 1700 पे C डबल बॉन्ड O होता है। ठीक है वो जिस मर्जी में हो, एमाइड कार्बोक्सिलिक एसिड एल्डिहाइड्स कीटोन्स एक्सेट्रा। ठीक है तो दिस वन, अच्छा दिस वन ये तो इंडिकेट करा है देयर इज अ C डबल बॉन्ड O। फिर एक एब्जॉर्प्शन हो रही है काफी हाई जाके, इट्स अराउंड 3400। ठीक है तो 3400 पे व्हाट इज द थिंग दैट एब्जॉर्ब्स 3400 पे? तो यहाँ पे अगर देखो ना, हायर रेंजेस पे इट्स आइदर गोइंग टू बी 3400 पे, इट्स आइदर गोइंग टू बी ये वाला होगा, मतलब बेसिकली ये दोनों OH होगा फ्रॉम फ्रॉम एन अल्कोहल, ठीक है, और इट कुड पॉसिबली बी NH एज वेल। 3400 पे ना वो भी आ रहा है, लेकिन उसकी एब्जॉर्प्शन जो है ना दैट्स वीक। तो आई डोंट थिंक कि वो NH का तो खैर कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं दिया हुआ ना। तो so this probably is an OH from an alcohol। अच्छा बताओ कि फिर कौन सी स्टेटमेंट ट्रू है? सी ट्रिपल बॉन्ड एन का बार बार वो मेंशन कर रहा है, सी ट्रिपल बॉन्ड एन है या नहीं है? तो I'm going to open the data booklet, C triple bond N 2200 पे ना there's going to be an absorption at 2200 for C triple bond N, जो कि नहीं है। I mean you don't see, मतलब 2200 पे there is no C triple bond N, ठीक है। तो यान कौन सी स्टेटमेंट ट्रू है?
सर जिसकी ट्रांसमिटेंस कम होगी उसका मतलब है वो प्रेजेंट है ना।
हाँ, मतलब जो डिप आएगा ना वो बेसिकली प्रेजेंट है। तो सी ट्रिपल बॉन्ड एन तो नहीं है, सी ट्रिपल बॉन्ड ओ है, और प्रोबेबली ओ एच भी है। ओ एच है या फिर NH2 है, मतलब और तो कोई इंफॉर्मेशन दी भी नहीं है। 3400 पे ना वही आ रहा था, NH भी आ रहा था, ठीक है। तो अब स्टेटमेंट कौन सी ट्रू है कि,
सी होगी सर, सी।
क्योंकि OH और NH2 का तो उसने कुछ मेंशन नहीं किया, तो आई गेस फिर यही होगा। अच्छा अब अगला ये कि, अच्छा नेक्स्ट वन, कि ये मॉलिक्यूल है। अच्छा, अ सेक्शन ऑफ अ पॉलीमर इज शोन। तो बताओ कि ये इसका मोनोमर क्या है इस वाले का, कि हाउ वुड यू, पता कैसा लगेगा इसका मोनोमर क्या है? तो पहले तो वो रिपीट रिपीट यूनिट ढूंढो ना कि रिपीट यूनिट क्या है। तो आई गेस रिपीट यूनिट जो है वो,
सर इसमें 3 रिपीट यूनिट्स हैं।
नहीं नहीं, वो एक ही चीज रिपीट हो रही है मेरे ख्याल से, ये चीज रिपीट हो रही है, सेम चीज रिपीट हो रही है, फिर ये रिपीट हो रहा है, वो सारे एग्जैक्टली सेम है ना? क्लियर है?
जी सर। जी सर।
तो मैं अगर इसका रिपीट यूनिट निकालू ना बाहर, ये है, फिर आगे जाके ये है, फिर इधर से दो, एक ये चीज मिला हो जाएगी बन रही है, फिर ये है, और फिर ये है। अच्छा, अब ये आपके ना वो जो लिंकेजेस है ना उनको वापस तोड़ो, मतलब लिंकेजेस को आप तोड़ते हो, ठीक है। तो
तो
लिंकेजेस
वो
को
डबल बॉन्ड बन जाएगा फिर।
और वहां पे ना डबल बॉन्ड वापस आ जाएगा, तो इन दो कार्बन एटम्स के बीच में डबल बॉन्ड आ जाएगा। तो बताओ ये कौन है इन सारों में से? मतलब इसको ना यानी लाइन में कितने होंगे, एक, दो, तीन, चार, पांच, और डबल बॉन्ड पहले देख लो दूसरे वाले पे होना चाहिए, ठीक है। तो ये चला गया, ये निकल गया। डबल बॉन्ड,
ये होगा सर।
ये भी गलत है, यही लग रहा है डबल बॉन्ड दूसरे वाले पे आना था, हाँ यही बन रहा है, डबल बॉन्ड इधर भी दूसरे वाले पे नहीं है। आ, दूसरे और तीसरे के बीच में डबल बॉन्ड है, ठीक है। सो सेकंड और थर्ड में डबल बॉन्ड है, फिर वहां से देयर इज अ ब्रांच, तो दो कार्बन एटम की ब्रांच जा रही है फिर, और दूसरी साइड पे देयर इज अ ब्रांच जो आगे फर्दर ब्रांच हो रही है, ठीक है। सो इट्स डेफिनेटली ए। तो ठीक है, ये ए है। क्लियर?
जी सर।
ये अगला बताओ, C5H10 के कितना एसिमर्स होंगे, ज्योमेट्रिक एंड सिस्ट्रॉन्स बोथ? मतलब ज्योमेट्रिक तो सिस्ट्रॉन्स एक ही होता है, स्ट्रक्चरल एंड स्टीरियो।
सर 6 होंगे।
ठीक है, वो छह कौन कौन से हैं, कि पहले तो स्ट्रक्चरल ड्रॉ करो के, स्ट्रक्चर में क्या था यार, 5 कार्बन एटम्स, तो पहले पोजिशनल होंगे, दैट्स वन। टू और पोजीशन नहीं हो सकते, ब्रांच कर लो। अच्छा, अब इस ब्रांच के ना पोजीशन होंगे, ठीक है। सो द डबल बॉन्ड कुड बी, और या फिर तीसरा कि द डबल बॉन्ड कुड बी ओवर है, ठीक है। सो दीज आर ऑल द पॉसिबल, इससे ज्यादा ब्रांच नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज देन यू वोंट बी एबल टू पुट अ डबल बॉन्ड एनीवेयर, ठीक है। बिकॉज इस तरह करोगे यू वोंट हैव अ डबल बॉन्ड बिकॉज द मिडिल कार्बन विल बी मेकिंग मोर देन फोर बॉन्ड्स, ठीक है। अच्छा मरियम, दिस इज द सेम पेपर, ठीक है, वी जस्ट स्टार्टेड विद
Okay, sir.
we well it's which one, M20 क्वेश्चन पेपर 1-2, ठीक है।
All right.
अच्छा, फिर further इसमें सिस्ट्रॉन्स कौन बना रहा है? सिस्ट्रॉन्स would be the first one is not making cistrons, the second one is, so this will be counted
सर 2 सेकेंड, इसमें ऐसे नहीं कर सकते कि ब्रांच दूसरे एंड वाले कार्बन पे हो और डबल
नहीं,
बॉन्ड उसके ऑपोजिट एंड वाले कार्बन पे?
नहीं एंड वाले पे ब्रांच होती नहीं ना, वो तो वही होता है, ये तो स्ट्रेट चेन होगी ना।
नहीं सर, वो जो सेकंड कार्बन पे, सेकंड लास्ट कार्बन पे।
लेफ्ट साइड पे?
जी सर, लेफ्ट साइड पे अगर ब्रांच हो जाए सेकंड लास्ट कार्बन पे, और राइट हैंड साइड पे फर्स्ट कार्बन पे डबल बॉन्ड हो जाए।
नहीं,
जी सर,
ये
इस तरह।
ये एग्जैक्टली सेम है ना,
अच्छा जी जी जी, सही सही।
क्योंकि इसमें इसमें मैटर नहीं कर रहा ना सेकंड पे ब्रांच लगाओ या इस वाले पे
जी,
ब्रांच लगाओ, वो सेकंड ही होता है,
सही हो गया, सही सही।
ठीक है। अच्छा तो खैर एनीवेज ये तो 6 हो जाएंगे, ठीक है, दिस विल बी काउंटेड एज 2। This is not making cistrons, this is not making cistrons, this one is not making cistrons. So none of them are making cistrons except for the second one, so that will be counted as 2. One would be cis, the other one would be trans, ठीक है। अच्छा, अगला वाला कि मेजर प्रोडक्ट, क्वेश्चन 26, मेजर प्रोडक्ट, HBr ऐड करना है, तो बताओ कि H से क्यों ऐड
Mm,
होगा?
I think no, it's already an alcohol.
नहीं
Like
नहीं,
there is already
HBr gets added to the double bond, right?
yes.
So where would the H get added? टॉप वाले पे, बॉटम वाले पे?
I think it will be added to the bottom, like this, the second one.
ठीक है, the second one, ठीक है, because H likes to get added to the carbon that's already bonded to more H atoms, ठीक है।
Yes,
यार इधर होगा, H will be on the other side and you won't
yes.
have it down. इधर क्या होगा? Where will the H get added?
Um, there, like the dot that is joined to the
Top one or
hexane
bottom one? ठीक
top.
है, नहीं, the H will get added to the bottom one, ठीक है,
Oh, okay.
क्योंकि उसके साथ पहले से ज्यादा H लगे हुए हैं, ठीक है।
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yes, yes.
The Br gets bonded over here. Plus, there's another reaction कि alcohol
Yeah,
also,
that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying for the BR. That the BR will be there.
ठीक है, HBr, so the alcohol also react and they turn into a halogenoalkane, ठीक है। तो एक Br यहाँ पे भी होगा। So the answer correct one कौन सा है? Which is the correct option?
I think it's the none of them. I don't. I think it's D or
C.
B. C. Sorry, C.
मतलब the OH should not be there, ठीक है। Plus the Br are attached to the carbon, ठीक है, they just made it differently. As the next one, which reaction will produce propanoic acid as one of its products? Strong oxidation of an alkene. So what will, well, if I draw this alkene, it's got this CH2CH3, and the other side there is two CH3 branches. But now what happens to an alkene? This is A. What happens to an alkene if there is strong oxidation?
It will be if there is strong oxidation. What happens to alkene? It will be broken. No, it will be further oxidized into an alcohol.
No, firstly, the double bond gets broken, okay? Strong oxidation.
Yeah.
So double bond gets completely broken. If you got two carbon chains, it turns into a ketone. If the carbon has one carbon chain, it turns into a carboxylic acid. If it's got two H atoms, it turns into carbon dioxide and water, okay? So coming back to this, one carbon chain, what will this get converted into?
The CH2 CH3.
Well, this one has one carbon chain, right? If you add
Yes.
one carbon chain, it turns into a carboxylic acid, okay?
Yeah.
So this carbon turns into a,
Carboxylic acid.
or if it has two carbon chains, then that gets converted into a ketone.
All right.
ठीक है, it turns into a ketone. और अब ये कि so that's the answer because this is propanoic acid, ठीक है? He wanted propanoic acid to be produced. Is that clear?
Yes.
बाकी सारे में propanoic acid नहीं बनेगा. Although this is an ester, it will get hydrolyzed, but since it's alkaline condition, the acid will react with the alkali, and it will instead form a salt of the carboxylic acid, not the carboxylic acid. Alcohol का होगा कि it will get oxidized to a carboxylic acid, but since it's ethanol, it will turn into ethanoic acid. और ये भी दो carbon, so none of them will produce propanoic acid, ठीक है? As the next one,
All right.
he's trying to reduce it using lithium aluminium hydride, LiAlH4. So what does LiAlH4 do? It reduces
It's a
carbo-
reducing agent.
so
Yeah.
it reduces carboxylic acid back to an alcohol. It reduces aldehydes back to alcohols, and ketones back to alcohol as well.
Alcohols.
So all of them are going to get reduced. So ये carbon
Yeah.
किस में convert हो जाएगा? This will turn back into an alcohol, right?
Alcohol. Yes.
Then what will this carbon get converted into? It will also turn back into an alcohol, ठीक है?
I
तो
think
कौन सा?
this will be C.
नहीं, D,
No, sorry. D.
ठीक है? Because both of them they turn to an alcohol, ठीक है?
Yes.
अच्छा, अगला वाला, there's this molecule that's being oxidized by K2Cr2O7. So what will this molecule turn into? Is this a primary alcohol or a secondary or a tertiary alcohol? कौन सा alcohol है?
I think this is a secondary alcohol.
नहीं, ये वाला, this one.
Okay,
You
there
have
is also OH.
CH and a double bond, then you've got CH.
Okay,
Then
that's
you,
tertiary.
this alcohol.
Yeah, you have the OH. That is one side, and the rest.
There's only one carbon chain.
Okay, so it's primary.
ठीक है? So there's only one carbon chain. That's the primary alcohol.
So,
Primary alcohol turn into carbon.
so if there is only one carbon chain, so it means it's primary.
Primary.
And if there are two, secondary.
If there had been a carbon chain over here, then it would have been secondary. If there had been a carbon chain on the third one as well, then
Oh, I get. Tertiary.
so this one is the primary alcohol gets converted. The primary alcohol gets converted into the primary one gets converted into an aldehyde and further gets oxidized to
Aldehyde.
carboxylic acid.
Carboxylic.
If you're refluxing it, then it will end up as carboxylic acid, ठीक है? तो
Alright.
कौन सा ऑप्शन ठीक है इन सारों में से?
It will turn into an aldehyde, and I think it will be
It will turn into a
E?
carboxylic acid.
carboxylic acid. Okay, so that would be COOH. I don't see COOH. I think B.
हाँ, तो B is C double bond O and OH.
Yeah.
ठीक है? The next one is we carry two of the rings X and Y contain acetyl bond C. ठीक है, you can see that. Now two of the rings. अच्छा, which
So I
one is
can't see the last option.
hmm?
No, I couldn't see the last option. Now, yeah, I can see it.
अच्छा, number of ester groups. How many ester groups do you have? You've got how many?
2.
ठीक है, so there's this ester group and
Yes.
this ester group, ठीक है. So you got two
Yeah.
ester groups. Description of ring X and Y, is it planar, or is this a planar thing, or
What do they mean by planar?
like the shape, like when you have a double bond, right? Like I mean,
Yeah.
look, what is the shape of carbon when it's making a double bond?
फिर
Straight.
प्लेनर ही होना चाहिए ना,
हाँ, it is planar, ठीक है.
क्योंकि वो स्पिन नहीं हो सकता.
हाँ, ठीक है. अच्छा, so
All right.
अच्छा एक चीज, बल्कि let me. अच्छा, when carbon makes a double bond, it is planar. The angle is 120 degrees and it's trigonal plane. It's fan shaped, ठीक है. लेकिन उससे जो next carbon है, जो next one, ये वाला carbon है, ठीक है. Let's say this one. That is making single bonds. When it's making single bonds, then it's tetrahedral, ठीक है. Tetrahedral का मतलब है one bond coming out of the page, ठीक है. So then it's tetrahedral. और angles क्या होंगे? 109.5. That is three-dimensional. So is this clear कि although these two carbon atoms are planar, लेकिन वो जो बाकी four carbons, they are not planar. They are tetrahedral and uh, they are three-dimensional. तो वो क्लियर है बात?
Yes.
ठीक है. यान क्लियर है?
जी सर clear.
अच्छा, अगला पार्ट, सेक्शन बी. Carbon and nitrogen are adjacent in the periodic table. Which property do they both have? They are carbon and nitrogen. So carbon is in group 4. मुझे जल्दी से बता दो कि group 4. What is the electronic configuration of group 4?
That's P1, P4. P4 or something like that.
The
Or
S2P2.
P2. Okay, S2P2.
And nitrogen is going to be S2P3. Group 5.
Yeah.
So first one, there's an empty 2p orbital in each atom of the element. Does this have an empty p orbital? P2 का क्या मतलब है? Like if you have a p subshell with 2 electrons,
Yeah.
p,
There are 4 empty.
so 2 का मतलब है there's 1 electron over here, there's 1 electron over here, there's going to be 0 electrons.
Yes.
So there is an empty orbital in carbon. लेकिन in nitrogen, nitrogen क्या है? px py. तो 3 electrons, so there's not going to be any empty. तो the first
Yes.
statement, one of them has it, the other one does not, ठीक है.
Yeah.
अच्छा, प्रिंसिपल क्वांटम नंबर is 2, ठीक है. That is fine. It is 2, ठीक है. वो 2 इसलिए कि elements that are in the second shell, sorry, second period, the outer shell is 2. Is that clear as well?
Yeah.
अच्छा, so next one. Again, form compounds in which the atoms form 4 bonds. Carbon is in group 4. कितने bonds बनाते हैं? Like CH4. It makes 4 bonds, right? ठीक है. Like in all organic molecules, carbon is normally making
Yes,
4.
sir.
Nitrogen का बताओ. Nitrogen, is there any instance where nitrogen makes 4 bonds?
No, never.
How many bonds
Because
does
it only, it's 3.
So nitrogen makes 3 bonds, right?
Yes.
Like in NH3, it makes 3 bonds, right?
Yes.
But it has a lone pair. So it's capable of forming a dative bond as well. So it can actually make 4 bonds as well. But ये बात clear है dative bonds के, how are dative bonds formed? Okay, nitrogen has a spare pair of electrons. So if anyone needs them, it's capable of forming a dative bond. Is that part clear? Mariam, clear?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, the strong,
So,
yeah.
what is the answer? Where are the options?
2 and 3 are correct. I mean, this is
Okay.
C.
Okay, that is it. Okay, see.
ठीक है. और ये खैर अब in recent, I mean, they've actually removed this pattern, ठीक है. But if
All
they
right.
give you a question, they're going to give you a key as well for this. Okay.
Okay.
As a strong hydrogen bonding present in liquid water causes an increase in which properties? So if you have a strong intermolecular forces, would you have more viscosity?
What's the definition of viscosity?
It's the thickness, like
All right. How
sticking to.
thick and concentrated?
The viscosity is like how thick, like honey is very viscous. Okay? That means
Oh,
that
okay.
it will increase, the boiling point will also increase, or surface tension would also increase. Okay? The molecules will be strongly attracted to each other. So they won't be able to flow very easily. They'll have a very high boiling point because a lot of energy would be required to break the intermolecular forces, and the surface tension would also be very high. Acha, ye agla, how can the standard enthalpy change of this reaction be described correctly? So, can you call it the enthalpy change of formation?
Yes, we can. No. It's combustion.
What is the definition of enthalpy change of formation?
When one atom of
One
one mole of water is formed.
substance, the one mole of any substance is formed from its elements. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So
So
there
it
is
could be also formation.
one mole of substance getting formed from its elements, right? Acha,
Yes.
can you call it enthalpy change of combustion?
Yes, we can, but then it's not giving us carbon dioxide, but it's giving us carbon monoxide.
So you can't, because uski definition is energy released when one mole of a
Yeah,
substance completely burns in oxygen, completely burns in excess oxygen. So
yeah,
this is not
not
forming.
combustion.
This is not complete combustion. Okay?
Yes.
Or
I think it
atomization.
could be called atomization.
Any atomization is not in your course. Okay? So forget that.
Or
Or leave that. I said, what will increase the rate of the reaction but will not change the Boltzmann distribution of molecular energies?
I
So,
think
अच्छा Boltzmann
catalyst.
distribution, Boltzmann distribution थी क्या? It was you had your energies over here, molecular energies, and you had your number of particles over here, right? And the curve was something
Yes.
that at low energies you had very few particles. At average energy you had a lot of particles. At very high energy you had fewer particles, right? So
Yes.
if you add a catalyst, does it affect the distribution of energies?
No, it doesn't, but it increases the rate of reaction.
Okay, so that's fine. It will not affect the Boltzmann distribution. So what
Yeah.
if I increase the concentration of hydrochloric acid?
Um, no, it will not change the Boltzmann distribution.
हाँ, लेकिन number of particles वैसे ज़्यादा नहीं हो जाएंगे? Like at every energy you'll have more particles because if it's more concentrated. हाँ, वैसे
Yes.
नहीं,
So I
it won't, like assuming that you have the same number of particles. So
okay.
the energy would be distributed in exactly the same way.
So yeah.
Temperature will change the distribution.
Yeah, it will change. It will.
Because if you increase the temperature, then you'll have more particles at higher energy and you'll have fewer particles at lower energy. So the curve would be something like this.
All
Okay.
right. Yeah.
अच्छा अगला वाला इसका वैसे कंफर्म कर लेते हैं 34 1 second.
Sir, why are there not like options A, B, C?
ये पहले होते थे पेपर लेट मी अच्छा एक सेकंड पहले मैं इसका आंसर देखूं 34 1 2 राइट हाँ वही है नहीं वो पहले ना you had a different pattern like up till 2022 you had a different pattern which was that the last 10 questions had these A B C D options.
Okay.
If you got 1 and 2 right that would mean B. ठीक है like in our case 1 and 2 is right so that means B. लेकिन ये questions अब नहीं है 2023 onwards these questions were removed.
Right.
I mean you can still get them but then they'll give you these options. ठीक है
Okay.
as the next one the element acetylene is below iodine in group 17 of the periodic table, which statement concerning astatine are likely to be correct?
Oh, I get. We are going to use that table on top to fill our answers.
हाँ उसको यानी multiple options could be correct, ठीक है?
Yeah. So we're going to use that to answer it.
हाँ अब इसका बताओ किसका क्या
Okay.
होगा एसिटिन की क्या प्रॉपर्टी होगी अयान क्या होगी
Astatine,
is it going to be a
it
dark
is. I think yes, it will be.
ठीक है colors become darker down the group ठीक है fluorine is pale yellow chlorine is
Yeah.
yellow bromine is red brown iodine blue black and so on ठीक है अच्छा it's a
Yeah,
powerful
yeah.
oxidizing agent than iodine
I think yes.
iodine is gaining electrons oxidizing agent क्या होता है it gets reduced right
Yes.
astatine is gaining electrons who do you think has a higher tendency to gain electrons but what happens down the group do they like to gain electrons or is the tendency to gain electrons decreases
I think it's no, it decreases
ठीक है bigger atoms
because
are more
shells
shielded
are added, which increases the difference between the nucleus to attract more electrons.
yeah so it's more shielded right so difficult for them it's going to be for astatine it's going to be more difficult right
Yeah.
so it's not going to be a more powerful it's going to be a less powerful oxidizing agent because
Yes.
it doesn't like to gain electrons is that clear
Yeah, yeah.
okay third one its hydride is more thermally stable than HBr so smaller atoms do they make strong bonds or bigger atoms make strong bonds
You know, as you go down the group, your bond length increases, so your bond energy decreases because it's, you know,
so this is unstable
spread.
right?
Yeah.
Its bond could be easily broken right
Easily broken because their bond strength is very low.
which statements are correct aluminum chloride dissolves in water to give an acidic solution ये inorganic कहा गया so does it dissolve in water to give an acidic solution
Aluminium chloride. I think yes. I'm not sure.
what happens ये reaction of chloride inorganic
Sir, the thing is, I don't have the notes on inorganic.
ऐसे ही मैं send कर देता हूँ ठीक है
All right, thank you.
ऐसे ये वाला कि hydrolysis ठीक है सारे रिवाइज कर लेते हैं NaCl with water does nothing it just dissolves ठीक है so the solution remains neutral magnesium
Okay.
chloride with water it has a very slight hydrolysis it mostly dissolves ठीक है mostly dissolves
Okay.
but a slight hydrolysis happens some of the magnesium will react with OH and form magnesium hydroxide and HCl gets produced so the pH is slightly acidic but this happens very slightly but when it comes to aluminum chloride there's a strong hydrolysis जो aluminum का ion होता है ना it's got a +3 charge so that +3 aluminum strongly attracts water molecules and strongly attracts OH ions from the water molecule and forms a precipitate of aluminum hydroxide
Okay.
and HCl gets produced ठीक है so this is strongly acidic ठीक है तो
All right.
इस question में it's talking about so one is correct it does give an acidic solution ठीक है अच्छा फिर next is कि ये भी अभी किया था magnesium chloride has a dissolves in water to give a solution pH close to 7 right we just did this
Yes.
the pH was around 6.5 very slight hydrolysis happens ठीक है और उसकी reason है Na+1 है ना Na+1 does not attract water that much magnesium +2 attracts water because it's +2 stronger attraction so it attracts water
Yes.
and pulls the OH ions out of it and forms magnesium hydroxide ठीक है Aluminium, on the other hand, is +3, so it has a very strong positive charge. So ये बहुत strongly water को attract करता है and reacts with it, ठीक है? And forms aluminum hydroxide. So this one is strong hydrolysis, ठीक है? अच्छा आखिरी क्या था? The sodium chloride dissolves in water. It does not form an alkaline solution. ये भी किया था. Third one is wrong. NaCl just dissolves in water, does nothing, ठीक है? Is this clear?
Yes.
अच्छा, ये वो रिएक्शन आ गया न्यूक्लियोफिलिक. दिस इज न्यूक्लियोफिलिक एडिशन, ठीक है.
Mm-hmm.
Nucleophilic addition that you had aldehydes and ketones, ठीक है. If you have an aldehyde or a ketone, वो ये वाला रिएक्शन था. HCN और NaCN के साथ nucleophilic addition. He's talking about the mechanism. So mechanism was that your CN minus one would get attracted to the carbon that's positive,
Okay.
and the double bond electrons will get repelled. और फिर वो OH आ जाता बाद में, ठीक है. तो CN minus one is getting attracted, and the oxygen is getting. तो mechanism सब कुछ सही है. CN minus one acts as a catalyst. It is
Yes. I
acting as
don't know.
yes,
No, it doesn't.
it remains unchanged at the end of the reaction.
So it does act like a catalyst.
CN add किया था, that was the catalyst. The CN9s were the catalyst because
Oh,
CN9s did
okay.
get. The CN9s are also other nucleophiles. They are nucleophiles because it's carbon is.
Yes.
So it is a nucleophile, and it is an addition reaction. It's a nucleophilic addition reaction. ठीक है?
Nucleophilic. Yeah.
अच्छा, अगला, which compound will produce a yellow precipitate with alkaline aqueous iodine? This is the iodoform test. Iodoform test क्या होता था कि this is the iodoform test. कि either you have methyl attached to a acetyl bond or a methyl that's attached to CHOH, ठीक है. तो
Okay.
we're looking for a methyl. उसमें क्या होता था, the carbon over here, the methyl will break off, it will form yellow precipitate of CHI3, और जो दूसरा carbon है, that will turn into a carboxylic acid or a salt of the carboxylic acid because of the alkaline conditions. So about the first one, we have a methyl group, this one. It's got
Okay.
H's. I said the methyl group has to be next to CHOH. Okay. So
Okay.
is it next to CHOH?
Yeah.
No, it's next to a C. It's next to an OH, but there is no H.
Exactly.
There's another methyl group.
Oh, okay, okay.
So वो H होना चाहिए था ना. So instead of an H, you have another methyl group. So this is not there. Okay, is this clear? So that means the
Yes.
first one is not going to have an iodoform test. What about the second one? Again, you've got a methyl group. इसका बताओ, is it next to CHOH?
I think yes.
हाँ ठीक है, next carbon है, there is an H, right? CHOH, right?
Yes.
अच्छा, what about this one? Again, you've got a methyl group. Is it next to a CHOH? It is next to a CHOH, right? Is that clear? इसका मतलब है both 2 and 3 will have they are going to have a reaction, ठीक है, and they will form a yellow precipitate. दोनों के केस में ना, ये जो CH3 है ना, that will break off and it will form CHI3 yellow precipitate. और वो जो remaining carbon है ना पीछे, that will turn into a carboxylic acid salt. अच्छा, there's tetrafluoromethane, मतलब मीथेन with tetrafluorines, ठीक है, 4 fluorines. Will it decompose by ultraviolet light? UV light कौन सा बॉन्ड
Is
टूटता?
it UV light is alkane?
नहीं, लेकिन UV light में which bond in the upper atmosphere would get broken? It's normally the Cl bond.
Cl, yes.
So it is not good. It's very stable. CF bonds are very strong. F is a small atom. Small atoms make very strong bonds. Okay. So it is less harmful because it will not produce Cl radicals. Cl radicals were the one that would attack the ozone and will break it apart. Okay. So it is less harmful. And it is non-polar क्योंकि polarity कोई नहीं है ना यहाँ पे. ये भी clear है?
Yes.
अच्छा, अगला है फिर next one. Which statement comparing ethene and ethane are correct? तो वो कह रहे हैं कि ethene and ethane.
I don't think ethene has larger bond angles
What's the bond angle
than
over here?
ethane.
The bond angle है क्या?
Bond angle, like if it's 120 or 109.
ये 120 होगा ना? It's double bond होता है.
Yeah, 120.
It's 120. And ethane is tetrahedral, ठीक है? So that means
That's 109.
ethene और large है, ठीक है? पहली statement correct है.
Okay.
Or in the dark, bromination happens, ठीक है? Bromine reacts with ethene, ठीक है? So the second statement is also correct. Is that clear?
But why does it react more quickly with ethene?
क्योंकि वो reaction ही alkene के साथ है ना. ये देखो ये where's the chart? For alkanes, you need UV light if you want to react it with bromine.
Oh, true, 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 true.
Or no light, ठीक है? No light. Alkenes will react without even light, ठीक है?
Okay.
And complete combustion will produce the same amount of gas at RTP. It will produce the same amount of gas because this one will also produce carbon dioxide, 2 molecules. And this one, if you burn it, it will also produce carbon dioxide, 2 molecules. But do you produce करेंगे ना? There are 2 carbons, right? Is it clear as well?
Yes.
So no matter if you burn the same amount, they're going to produce the same amount of carbon dioxide. The other product is water, which is a liquid, so it's not a gas. So he's not talking about water, ठीक है? ये clear है?
Yes, sir.
तो ये मैं भेज दूँ उसका, एक सेकंड नोट्स भेज दूँ, 1 second. इसमें I've sent you the inorganic notes, ठीक है?